Yeah, I hear you.
Well, somebody Miss said something about posting the fucking, how to declassify things in the statute or whatever fucking regulations that
No, I
are,
was
Right.
are
specific.
associated
I was
with that.
specific.
And I was like, okay, fine, I'll do that because she's saying nobody's going to do that. So I did that. And
You
the
didn't.
other night I spent fucking 6 hours going through 191 pages of the fucking statute associated, just updated in 2022, the 1954 Atomic Energy Act, Energy Act of 1954, which designates how and why and shit you classify certain bits of information and how you go about declassifying it. So, like,
Right, but tell me
go
the
fuck
one.
yourselves, assholes. God damn it.
Tell me
Why
the
does
one that
nobody
applies.
read anything? They just sit there and be like, meh,
Can I even be heard?
meh, you're
All right.
wrong.
Let her respond.
God, it's so annoying, though. It's so fucking annoying.
I asked specifically for the procedure that applies to presidents.
Yes, that's it.
It doesn't
That's
say
the
that
fucking
president.
it.
It's
You
talking
didn't
about
read the 600 goddamn pages associated with that article in 5 minutes, miss. So go fuck yourself.
Okay, so why don't you tell me exactly where to find it, where it applies to a president?
No, read it. Just like I have to. Like anybody that's interested in this shit, then fucking read it.
Go
read
read
it.
the whole 600 pages. You know it
Yes,
says for presidents,
do
but you won't
that.
tell me where. Tell me where it says for presidents, and I'll go read it.
It says like 60,000 fucking words worth. Which one would you like to know? Just the
The one
specific bit that you need to
that
know.
applies to the president.
All of it applies to the president, you freaking
No, it
joker.
doesn't. Executive
It
orders
does
don't apply to
too.
the president.
Oh, you're so infuriating. Oh, I just hate people. I just hate it. Like, why do I have to fucking stress myself out reading all this shit, researching and all this shit because people are like, well, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. That only applies to this person and that only applies to that. And there's no actual statute. It's just this. But they just listened to some fucking goddamn podcast or some douchebag on the news or saw some fucking meme and now they
Nope.
fucking know everything. You
Nope.
fucking read the goddamn shit or don't. What do I fucking care? Remain ignorant.
Real quick.
Why do I got to do your work for you?
Let me just you guys
I
are
mean, you
spinning
better-
your wheels looking for this stuff, trying to read about it and interpret it yourselves. There are aspects of declassification of documents, these top secret documents, that the procedure itself is classified. You're not going to find the answers that you're looking for.
You're saying it's classified on
Correct.
how a president declassifies?
Here, this is the bit you're looking
There are
for.
procedural aspects of it that are classified.
It's like
You
3
can't
sentences.
know. You can't know.
It's 3 sentences. As with classification, declassification is a 2-step process. First, an authorized official must determine that the information no longer requires protection. Second, that determination must be communicated so that the protections are removed. Accordingly, when a decision has been made to declassify information, it must be marked as declassified. If the declassification affects an entire category of information, the agency's classification guide must be updated accordingly. If it is narrower, the decision may be captured in a declassification guide. Although often, the classification process that accompanies a declassification decision is sufficient to alert the necessary personnel. Now, that is associated with all fucking declassifications, president or otherwise. The president has overwhelming authority to declassify information in a process. In a process. He must do the process. If he doesn't do the process, he hasn't declassified the documents appropriately and therefore is subject to fucking laws. Fucking laws.
Laws. Everybody. Laws
God
over
damn it,
here.
you fucking cuntbags. The fucking guy did some shady shit. He did not declassify it by thinking about it.
I mean, number one, you stuck your nose in it. Number two, I was specific about applies to the president.
It all applies to the president. All of it.
I mean, that's the argument, ain't it?
It's not an argument. It's what's written.
I mean, he's the commander in
okay.
chief, dude.
Okay, I'll go to the Supreme Court cases and show you after the fucking laws, then, since you don't want to read that. Fucking Christ.
I don't know why you're getting so wound up, Damon.
Because you refuse. You just refuse to take any bit of information if you think that you're right about something. Well, you're fucking wrong.
It's talking about subordinates. The executive orders don't apply to the president. They apply to the subordinates. That's why a president can come in.
That's
and
about classifying information, you douche. Read down the article on the declassification. The declassification part, which is what you were talking about. You can't even read.
You told me to read the whole thing on the go. This is part of that whole thing. Why are you shutting me down?
It's the first goddamn paragraph. You haven't even read past the first 3 sentences.
Actually, I did.
He waived classified documents.
I'm sorry, the first 10 sentences.
He waved classified documents around under the noses of people with no clearance, told them they were classified, told them he wanted to classify them, but he didn't, but still divulged their contents anyway.
You can't classify documents after you're not president anymore, no matter who the
No.
fuck you are.
No, but they were declassified. The action of a president having them sent out into his personal place means that he made them personal, and that
Nope.
is an act of classification.
horseshit. That's
declassification.
Nope,
horseshit.
that's bullshit. That means
Watch
he
and
just
see what.
removed
Watch and see if that's not what
just removed
what they
classified
say in
documents
court.
from their appropriate place in an inappropriate manner.
They're just
That's why
declassified.
Biden and fucking and Pence just got fucking their documents fucking taken from them.
Where the
Because they
fuck
weren't
did you
supposed to have
read?
them.
Where the fuck did you read that once the president has them, they're declassified?
I didn't say anything about Hausman. He was president when they left the White House.
So what?
He was
That doesn't mean
president
they're
up until
declassified.
12. He was
For
president
like
up
an
until
hour.
12. Why do you keep cutting
You
me off? Up until 12:01 that day, he was president. Him taking them out of there is a form of declassification.
No,
No,
it
it's
is
not.
not.
No,
Name
it's not.
where in all the fucking like all the statutes, all the fucking regulations, all the court cases, all the fucking executive orders, where is it written that that is what can be done? That is an
Where is it,
appropriate way
where is it written that
to
a president
declassify
has to do a
documents?
procedure? It's not. It's to the
It is.
subordinate.
It's real.
Oh,
I just
man.
gave you the sources.
Deary
Okay,
me.
that's an article written, but in it, it has links to the actual
Yes, it's an
fucking
article. It's
documents
not a
that
government site.
regulate that.
That's another thing about it. It's an
It,
article, not a government procedure.
I'm sorry. The Atomic Energy Act of 1954 isn't a fucking government article. I'm sorry. I must be a fucking retard.
Damon. Now we're getting to
Miss,
some common ground.
Well, fine. I'll say I'm a retard
I'm
if that's
just
not a
kidding,
government
Damon. I'm
document.
just kidding.
It was fucking legislated and enacted. So and it was through the United States government. So I would assume that's a government fucking regulating document. Or I'm fucking crazy, which I could be. It's
Well, you're
possible. I
also
feel like I'm
crazy.
crazy.
Yeah, super
I
I feel
crazy.
like I'm fucking crazy.
classified. Oh, that's brilliant. That's fantastic. I've got
Wait,
them
can I
now.
It's not a
Damon,
fucking government source. It can't be fucking real, right? Like it
wanna-
can't have
wanna
actual legitimate
comment?
information in it.
I want to commend your research. You have shown some excellent research skills today. Reading all those fucking boring ass pages. My God.
Dude, I swear to God, I sat there. I was on the toilet this morning, finishing it up. I sat there and read that whole fucking thing because I was like, why are they using the Atomic
In one
Energy Act
setting,
of
my God.
1954 as a declassification statute? And like in it, like all fucking like legislated documents that come out of the fucking Congress or the fucking Senate, are full of fucking like riddled with all kinds of other shit that's added. Like,
But did we
and it
have
was
to know you
updated
were
and
reading it?
amended in 2022. Which, what the fuck? Whatever.
What the fuck?
He's a naughty boy and he's in the shit.
Like that's a side of you I'd never expected to think about there, Damon, sitting on the toilet.
Well, I mean, Trump does it to tweet. Why don't you fucking tell him about it?
I don't have Twitter.
Whatever.
Oh, there you go then.
Trump
And
can
if I
just
did,
declassify
and if
fucking
I
shit
did,
just
I
by
wouldn't be
fucking
reading his
taking a
bullshit.
dump with them, as long as they're in his house.
Trump
Right?
does it for good ideas.
He took
pulls
them out of the
tricks
White
from
House,
the
therefore
source.
they're declassified. What a fucking joke.
Did Biden do anything wrong? Do you think, Miss? Did Biden do
I
anything
think
wrong?
A Discord lawyer told me that, Damon.
Yeah.
a
That's a
Discord lawyer.
simple act of saying
Are you really
personal
going to call a
papers
one dog
declassified.
Discord lawyer? Really?
That is definitely not true. Personal
I would
papers
love
is
for you
very
to say that in
specific.
front of one dog.
Apparently, you're the one that just said it.
No, you said I got it from a Discord lawyer. I'm repeating one dog who's a constitutional
Well, you
attorney.
just called him a Discord lawyer, then, didn't you?
No, you did.
He's a Discord lawyer, as far as I know. I don't know him to be an attorney. He's never stated his name or where he practiced.
Oh, get the hell out of here. I'd still love you to hear him say that to him. I dare you.
Why the fuck would I care what he thinks, Mystery? You're too wrapped up in your little YouTube Discord world.
Just fucking read shit, man.
What she's
Yeah.
doing is
Fucking
going from
read
one
shit.
server, she's going here, then she goes there, then comes here, she's going back and forth trying to
Look,
argue
miss,
it
I'm
with you.
sorry.
So she's
Look,
I
getting
I
in
know
on
I'm
one
being a
haven't gone
complete
to
asshole.
Discord
Like,
today. Why are you
I know
lying? Post some evidence. Hold on.
I-
Post some evidence I went over there today. Liar. Post it.
I didn't say today.
No, it's between you two. Sorry, my bad.
Oh, okay. So now it's not
This
today.
is
Go.
this
But
is so
not being over,
cringe.
Miss.
Run
Not
away
being
now,
over,
Damon. Run away.
not being here means automatically you're over there, Miss. It's a bit like your thing about once the president's got them, they're declassified, so you can make up these
Well,
rules.
apparently, if I'm not
You
here,
were
I
over
must
there.
be.
You weren't here. You were over there.
Must be.
Yeah, whatever. I'm sorry I fucking yelled or whatever, miss. I'm not trying to be an asshole to you, but like, the fucking shit's legitimate. If you want to find the information, you can. If you want to be lazy, that's fine. I'm not going to hold it against you. But like, don't sit here and act like you know better, because you don't.
No, here's the thing, Damon. I've seen people claim this procedure, and I've read a few articles where they claim this procedure, but none of them would cite this procedure that is holds the president to it.
It's because there's not just like a PowerPoint or a single sheet document that states this is the fucking proper procedure for fucking goddamn declassifying. There's different ways to declassify different types of information. Depends
Right.
on the
And
information,
according
on
on
whether you can declassify it in certain
according to
ways,
who's
other ways.
declassifying it to.
There is some bits of information that he can actually sit in the office and say, I would just like to declassify this. And basically it's declassified with like a note and sent to, you know what I mean? Like notated. That's it. And then remarked. But somebody has to know about it. It has to be recorded. You can't just say, oh, well, it's declassified and then don't tell anybody about it. You have to report the declassification no matter what the bits of information.
So is there a specific place to report this to? Him being the head
Well,
of
I know one of the final places is the archives, and it would be associated to the individual agency. So if it's executive or military, DOJ, this and that, it would be appropriate in those places. And there's
Yes,
different
miss.
storages for different bits of information.
But
Yes,
aren't
look
some
up.
of these indictments based on the agencies and not the president?
No, the
Yes,
president
if
can
you
declassify stuff. It just has to be noted and gone through a particular process
Not
depending
that
on
I
the type of information.
it's called
It's
Executive Order 13526, and the section is, I'm telling you now, so you can read it. The section is Section 1.7, Classification Prohibitions and Limitations, and the clause
right.
is 3, which says the reclassification action is reported promptly to the Assistant to the President for the National Security Affairs, National Security Advisor, and the Director of Information Security Oversight Office.
Right, that subordinate's going to the president, the vice president, and the others you name.
No, it's talking about, it says,
Read it
this
again.
is
doesn't matter.
classification action is reported promptly to the Assistant to the President or National Security Affairs, National Security Advisor, and the Director of Information Security Oversight Office. This is a section that covers declassification as it is laid out for the President and the Vice President, and agency and head officials designated by the President in Section 2, and United States government officials delegated this authority pursuant to paragraph C of this section by the President, or officials authorized to classify information at a specified level who are also authorized to classify information at a lower level pursuant to permission from the President or Vice President. Very clear, miss. He can't just say, this is
We don't know what that
declassified.
even means.
Persistent. What was it? To the president? What was the last one you said? Pursuant to the
It was
president, or
pursuant. It was a list of people who can declassify through this
right?
mechanism. I just
What was?
listed
But
them.
what?
You're not listening, are
Read
you?
read after again. Pursuant to who?
This is the list of the people who can reclassify in the clause I just outlined at the bottom. Okay, let me just get back to where it was again. The screen keeps moving. Okay. The authority to classify information originally may be exercised only by 1. The President and the Vice President, 2. Agency heads and officials designated by the President, and 3. United States government officials delegate his authority in pursuant to paragraph C of the section, or 3B. Or officials authorized to classify information at a specified level are also authorized to classify information at a lower level.
Right. So that's a
Okay,
list of people that can declassify. Yes.
yes. Okay, but what they have to do, it then goes on to describe what the process is. Classification categories in section 1.4. You have to read this. Duration of declassification in section 1.5. Section 1.7 covers classification prohibitions and prohibitions and limitations. And in that list, at point 3, it says the classification action is reported promptly. This is the clauses in which it happens. There's no before that, and before that it says it is pursuant on it, the reclassification action being reported promptly to the Assistant to the President for the National Security Affairs, National Security Advisor, and the Director of Information Security Oversight Office. If you don't follow all these clauses, it's not a reclassification.
See, I hear the way I'm hearing the way you're reading it, but I'm also hearing it in a different way, and it seems
Of
like it's
course
an
you are.
interpretation.
Go,
Well,
go
I
and
mean,
look it up.
can you
Executive
stop
Order
cutting me off?
1
How you
5.
stop cutting me
Stop
off?
talking. Stop talking.
No,
Listen to
how
what I'm
about
saying
you
to you.
stop cutting me off and let me finish?
You're talking bullshit. You're saying, I don't understand
All
what
right,
you're saying.
so you don't like what I've got to say, you'll cut me off. Okay, I'm done.
You don't like what I'm saying. You're saying, oh, I interpret what you're saying differently. Go and read Executive Order 13526 and stop whining. He didn't declassify it.
Come on, Pazza. You have to let other people talk too.
He's right, though. He didn't declassify shit.
I don't care what
He
Danny
thought
Dickhead
about it.
lawyers. I don't care what Danny Dickhead lawyer said on the internet. They got it wrong.
Are his shits normally classified?
Yes. That's why they were in the toilet.
Okay.
That's where he does all his meetings.
Yeah, what do you think all those boxes were in that picture in the bathroom?
This is a really
Right.
well-written article. It
Deep
really
fake.
organizes things very well and gives links to all those documents, including the one you were just talking about.
Yeah.
But all that nuclear information is the Atomic Energy Act of 1954. That's how you have to fucking declassify that shit. If you don't do it that way, you are breaking
You're
the law.
a communist.
As I said, one of the
Trying to
reasons
steal
he's in the
government
shit.
secrets.
One of the reasons he's in the shit is because he's recorded and there's third-party witness accounts under testimony that he stood up in front of a crowd of people or a group of people who had no security clearance, waving about secret documents saying, I shouldn't be showing what's in here because this is classified. I wanted to declassify it, but I didn't have time to do it. And then he talked about what was inside their nuclear codes and blah, blah, blah. So everything else notwithstanding, there is someone saying or asserting that he has a classified document and he shouldn't be showing it to people. And even if it was declassified, doesn't necessarily mean he's got the clearance to just go waving it about at a fucking golf course like a blathering idiot.
Anything to be relevant, he'll do.
Yeah.
He'll stop at
Show some
nothing.
respect, Pazza. He was president of the United States.
Yes, he was, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
What is it you're streaming, Jim?
Oh, he was streaming his game earlier. Command and
Looks like
Conquer.
Disney World, maybe? No?
Yeah, Disney World. It's the, finale show thing.
I was going to say it's either Disney or like the Scientologists are really putting on a show.
Actually, guys, I missed it all.
Yeah, it's over.
Oh, man. Couldn't talk, doing stuff, busy.
Everyone was yelling at Miss for
Well,
some reason. I didn't
I
understand it.
keep telling you need to get your priorities right.
Fuck me.
I had a bit of a yell.
Miss, why are they yelling at
What-
you? Because you don't read what they give them or something?
Yes.
Why do you have
What-
that expectation?
Pointless
know,
arguments
expectation
on
of
the
what?
internet
I figure
are
she's
the
a-
most important thing.
I figure she's an honest person, and and if she's asking questions to like know this information, that when somebody gives it to her, that she would read it.
Yeah, and you said it was 600 pages, and you expect me to read it all before I say anything and be sick.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're ridiculous.
However,
Yeah,
I
do that.
I
That's
followed
like-
one link.
I
This
think you're
is
ridiculous.
rich coming from y'all when I post links. You scan it real quick, cherry pick out what you think that you want it to say, and then you say that I'm the cherry picker.
That's
You
because
should
all
make
your
a
links
point
are
when you
always
post
wrong.
Well, I didn't read 600 pages. I spent 10 minutes following some links, and I got myself
Yeah.
to the White House government.
Or some of us just use a bit of common sense and realize that these laws are written by Congress, and there's no way a Congress is going to write a law so stupid to say that a president could declassify a document by looking at it.